Hey everybody, welcome to Recovery Lab TV. My name is Chris. I am your coach and sports therapist, and welcome. So, lower back pain. Today is all about removing lower back pain in the lumbar region. So the lumbar region is exactly that lower back. And the majority of the world, unfortunately, suffer with lower back pain. So, in this video, you're going to find out a number of exercises, a number of little things that you can do to help minimize that lower back pain and kind of really bulletproof your lower back by exercising a range of muscles around your pelvis, around your lower back, in your core, and kind of really bulletproof that lower spine. Okay, so to begin with, I'm going to get you to lay down with me if you can. What you're going to do, you're going to lift your legs up in a 90-degree angle, okay? And from there, you're going to squeeze that lower back, so that little pelvic tilt, so from there to here, okay? And then from there, you're going to squeeze that lower back down, all right? So it's really important that you have this nice 90-degree angle. And then from there, you're going to squeeze, embrace your abs, and then take one leg down, drawing it back up. Then the opposite side, drawing it back up. Again, keeping it going, making sure that those legs, when they go down, they're dead straight. They're not rotating out to the side. You want to keep those legs nice and straight so that pelvis stays nice and straight and that spine stays nice and straight, okay? So, one at a time. From there, squeezing that lower back down. Just like so. Now once you've done 12, okay, what I'd recommend is you rest, relax your feet down, rest for 30 seconds, and then do 2 more rounds, okay? So that's the single leg version, if you will. From there, if and only if, it's really important that you can maintain that lower lumbar kind of posture, if you will, okay, where you can engage to the floor. Once you can do that, then you can look to stretch both legs out at the same time, go there and draw back in. Now if you can't engage that lower back throughout the entire range of contractions and entire range of movement, then what I'd recommend is kind of go into that point where, for example, you start the curve, try and squeeze down. If you can, then great, hold it. Go a little bit more. If you lose it, draw it back, okay? It's better to develop the strength there doing a single leg lift than kind of going straight to the harder version if you're really struggling, okay? So once you've kind of done that, it's kind of 3 rounds of 12 or 3 rounds of 10, what I'd recommend is drawing up into this position. You're going to bring your legs as straight as you can. You're going to bring your arms up directly in line with the shoulder. Okay, so it's wrist, elbow, shoulder there, and you're coming up towards your toes, if you will. You're not coming in, you're just lifting up in line with the shoulders and back down. Okay, so it's there. Again, squeezing that lower back into the floor as you draw up. Okay, now if you're really struggling holding your legs up, naturally you can bring them down, okay? You can hold the same up, draw up again, okay? Try not to get this crunching mechanism going on as you do so. Imagine you're reaching up to a 45-degree angle, gluing that lower back into the floor, trying to protect that lumbar region as you kind of develop that lower back strength, okay? From there, you're going to go into a trusty glute bridge, all right? So, staying down again, what you're aiming to do with this one is draw your hips up so you have a lovely straight line from your shoulder all the way down to your knee. You're going to tuck in, you're going to come back, tap, and a big squeeze, squeezing your bum. You're not looking to overarch your lower back, okay? You're drawing it down, so it's a nice straight line coming in and squeezing. Now, depending on your current level, you may want to add a resistance band onto your knees, drawing your legs out, gaining more strength from your glutes, as it's going to be a little bit more challenging. You will have a number of different levels of resistance in those resistance bands, and then potentially you may kind of want to get a weight, press it up against your legs and draw in at the same time as you come out, and then you may want to extend that one leg, drop back down to just body weight, then add bands, then add weight again. Now, when you do draw up that one leg, it's really important that your spine is dead straight, so when you come up here, you have that extension and you're not dropping your hips, so you don't have that rotation in the pelvis, okay? Again, you're looking for a straight line. As you come up, you're tapping and driving, just like so, okay? What you may ask is why you're kind of working your glutes in a lower back exercise, but your glutes literally attached to your pelvis, okay? So if you have weakness here, you're gonna compromise your back, you're gonna compromise your hamstrings, okay? And your hamstrings, if they're tight, they're gonna pull that pelvis down, which is gonna overstretch your lower back and kind of really weaken it, okay? So it's really important that you work on your hamstring flexibility as well. So what I'd recommend, if you don't already, check out our Wednesday morning recovery sessions. We have a number of live sessions going on every day from Monday to Friday, as well as they're all stored and catalogued, ready and waiting for you to try each and every class if you want to. Okay, so they're Wednesday recovery sessions, and they're all about flexibility, yoga, mobility exercises, and they're there to help kind of improve your flexibility and mobility, okay? So once you've done the bridge, you're then going to come over into a bird dog exercise, okay? And again, you're in a box position. You've got your wrist, elbow and shoulder in line. You've got your knee in line with your hip, and you've got this lovely little right angle. Your spine, you're not squeezing it, so you haven't got a curve. You're not extending it, so you're not rounded. You're kind of trying to find a middle ground. Now, what I tend to do on this one is I'll straighten my hand, okay, and my fingers, and that means that I'm bringing that hand out a little bit, okay, and then looking to extend up here and come back down, trying to keep my spine as straight as I can as I'm doing that exercise. Now, a brilliant way of balancing there is either getting a pole, like a wooden dowel or a technique bar, resting it on the crown of your head and your pelvis, making sure your middle of your upper back is kind of resting against it, or if you have a small tennis ball, massage ball, rest it on your lower back, and if you can keep it there as you extend out, you're doing a pretty good job as you're there, okay? What I'd recommend with that is do 3 sets of 12 each side, and just go from one side to the next, to next, to next, and so on and so forth, okay? Once you've done that one, you're then going to spin around and effectively do exactly the same exercise, but this time, again, it's focusing on that lower back, okay? So, what I recommend is, because a lot of people have mobility issues in the shoulder, okay, and you struggle keeping your elbow nice and straight, I recommend you stick your thumbs out as you do this exercise. So you want your knees directly above your hips, okay, that lovely little right angle, and as you go out, you're going opposite. You're tapping your heel down and you're drawing in, and at the whole time you're squeezing that lower back into the floor. Now, there's a brilliant way you can make sure that you're not cheating, because you're going to want to cheat, especially if you find it hard, okay? Now, if you have a little resistance band just like this, it's a brilliant way of sliding along the floor, attaching it to something, okay? And if your lower back is curving, so imagine this being tied to something, it's pulling away, my lower back is squeezed into the floor, and if I curve as I extend, it's going to shoot out, and it's going to be kind kind of under, like sliding away from your lower back, right? So it's really important that one, you trap it into the floor, and two, it kind of gives you this kind of fun game in the sense of it kind of gives you that accountability. And one, knowing that if you're curving or not, because sometimes we're going to be so focused on potentially our abs kind of hurting, or our hip flexors hurting, whatever muscle is weakest in the chain, we may be so focused on that element that we actually forget about the purpose and what we're doing, okay, which is drawing that lower back into the floor, okay? Now, once you've done, again, set of three sets of 12 on that exercise, okay, that dead bug exercise, what I'd recommend is doing a knee to chest stretch, okay? Now, it's a lovely way of opening up your pelvis, okay? In between the kind of base of your pelvis, you've got these two little joints. Sometimes if you lean on one side more than the other, it becomes inefficient, and you tend to get more tightness on one side. This way is a brilliant way of kind of opening up those hips and taking the pressure off your lower back, okay? So all it is literally just giving yourself a big old bear hug. As you do so, you're kind of rounding your back. It's keeping your back nice and safe because it's pressed into the floor, especially that lower back that we tend to get that pain from. Now, if you kind of struggle with this one, depending on abdomen size, leg size, mobility, flexibility, another version of this is coming down, flattening your feet, and then bringing yourself down to this position, okay? And again, if you struggle, you can always kind of walk it away and bring it down and down and down and down and down again, kind of bringing some shoulder mobility into the exercise as well. Now, from there, what I'd recommend is clicking on the video that comes up after this one, giving that one a little view, because it's going to cover a few more exercises for tightening that core, developing that lower back strength, especially if you have a weakness. It's worth giving it a little go and a little view. It's kind of like the 3 best exercises for kind of back strength, developing that core. Another thing I would recommend is on a Thursday and Friday we do rehab sessions, okay? They're catered for corrective exercise. Our Thursday session is our upper body corrective exercise day. It's live at 9:30 every morning UK time. It's also saved and stored straight afterwards, so if you can't make the live sessions, you can literally do it straight after. We have over 100 videos now collectively. So each session is completely different. Our Friday session is basically our lower body prehab session, where we're kind of literally looking at anything from core to anything from hip down, and all of it is going to help you realign your body, correct your body in a sense that typically you may have lower back issues, but they may be hip flexor issues, they may be hamstring issues. Unless you've consulted a physiotherapist, a GP, or a other professional practitioner and had a clear diagnosis, then it's worth doing, and 2, kind of worth tapping into kind of correcting everything regardless of your issues or not. It's worth kind of taking that whole body approach, and here at Recovery Lab we aim to do that for you, okay? Week in, week out, literally day in, day out, from Monday to Friday, we do live sessions on strength, on recovery, and on prehab. So don't forget to tap into those resources. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comment section if it helped you and how it helped you, and give it a go, but give it a go on a regular basis, okay? Doing one session isn't going to correct it. It's going to take a bit of time, it's going to take a bit of patience and a bit of consistency. Have an amazing day. I hope this helps, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.